Welcome to Live Well Long, where we deliver life-enhancing, empowering messages for body, mind, and spirit to those seeking to get the most out of life, who have a zest for learning and know that learning must be an ongoing activity to achieve a vibrant, thriving life. This is your host, Alexandra Van Horn. Stay tuned for another episode of Live Well Long. Hey everyone, welcome to Live Well Long, where we discuss all things body, mind, spirit to help us live well long. And today's guest, you're going to really enjoy this talk. So dial in, listen in. So today's guest is a hypnosis practitioner and wellness coach. Valerie lives, works, and sails in the Houston area of Texas. She's a certified professional hypnotist, national board certified in health and wellness coach, certified life coach, and licensed social worker. Through her business, Bona Diem, Hypnosis and Coaching with Valerie Coyle, she guides people who are struggling to release fear, patterns, behaviors, and habits. Some examples are anxiety, insomnia, sugar cravings, stubborn weight, stopping smoking, and drinking alcohol responsibly. Using hypnosis and coaching as tools, Valerie's clients are able to easily and quickly step into their good day, their Bona Diem, now by accessing and using their personal strengths, life's experiences, and inner wisdom. It's Valerie's lifelong passion to help others on their journey to wellness. And her favorite question is, what might be possible for you when you decide to change? So let's welcome Valerie Coyle. Come on in.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Such a privilege and honor to be here with you.
Well, it's great to have you here. Absolutely. The feeling is mutual.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me, how did you get started? I know you're very mission driven. So tell me about your mission so our listeners can get a sense of your heart behind this.
Yes. Thank you. My mission and my passion is to really help people step into what it is they desire. Sometimes we've got things that hold us back. And when we can release that and step into what we desire, that sense of empowerment, that sense of what I like to say, just being in your corner of the world, your little place on the planet, and shining there,
right.
being a bright light right there where you are. And we can do that when we feel well in our bodies. We can do that when we feel well in our minds. What opens up for us is, what do I want to create? What do I want to experience?
Right. We get
and give them the tools, help them to see their own inner wisdom, their own inner resources that guide them on this ever evolving path.
Right.
That is my passion. That is my passion.
Right. Beautiful. Yeah, that's awesome. And how did you get into your being you're a health and wellness coach? How did you get into that? What led you into that?
I have long been interested in health. Long. And I discovered early on, I can't do the math and I can't do the science.
Not your forte, huh?
Just does not land. And that's okay, because we've got plenty of people that is all well and good for, and they give us the research behind what I believe in. And it was when I was in nursing homes. I am a licensed social worker here in Texas, and I wanted to work with our seniors. So I was in the nursing home, and I was seeing the effects of diabetes on young people. And I turned my own pre-diabetes around in 2006. That was my diagnosis, and it was my wake-up call. So now then, coming in and actually seeing many years later, I thought, people have to know this. Yeah. How can I get this out? How can I help people? Right. And that's when I was introduced serendipitously to health coaching. And that was the start of just my beautiful, beautiful journey that's been going on 5 years, stepping into that. and then just really promoting that, and being a coach around diabetes prevention, diabetes management, helping with the cravings, the weight loss resistance, those sort of things. That was my introduction to this world of empowerment.
So, getting back to the pre-diabetic diagnosis you had, what shifts did you make specifically in your lifestyle, your food choices and your lifestyle? Did you make some specific changes? I'm presuming you did.
Yes. Bringing in the nutrition part of it, bringing in some physical activity part of it. And out of that, I created really a 5-step success ladder. We have intention. We have attention. Where we place our attention is so important. But I have added in, Alexandra, decision. Decision is important. And to me, that is even it is a bigger word. It gives us this sense of a stake in the ground. Arthur's sword in the stone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Much stronger to me than a commitment. I have made a decision for this thing. From that decision, what are the actions? Inspired actions. The clients find their own actions. Then that support their intention that they're putting attention to. And then we look at the results. Are you getting the results that you are intending? So,
and just to, if I can interrupt just 1 second, for our listeners, the word decision literally means to cut away. So when we decide, we cut out the choice that we were deciding about, we pick one, and the other one is no longer a viable choice.
That's right. And so to your question is, I had this information. What do I do with it? This is where I am. What do I do with this thing? And I knew that I was going to take some action. I deliberately went out and found people. Back then, there weren't the coaches that we have now, but it was a trainer who did coaching, what I call coaching now, because again, he brought in, what do you like to eat? What do you like to do? That's
it was a personal trainer. It was a personal trainer.
Yes, that support, that accountability, that holding me. And I made the decision, whatever it took. And it's a lifestyle. When we do something enough times, which is not very, very many at all in the grand scheme of things, it's just what I do.
We rewire our brain.
We do. We rewire our brain. We rewire our habits. And so many other things opened up for me. The brain fog left. The feelings of sadness left. Valerie came back. So, yes. Action, decision, got a brand new lifestyle. And it's really good.
And before we came on the show, we talked about briefly, we may need to find new friends, right? They say our income, whatever it is, the 5 people we see the most, we're around the most, we share in those thought processes. So if their lifestyle is not a lifestyle that you want to keep going with, we've got to make some choices, and it's not always an easy choice.
It is not. But I love to ask the question, so what's making it hard? Right? So,
our own decision, our own thought about it.
Yes. And so, yes, to your point, we do walk differently in the world. We do walk differently when we take ownership and this can do. And it is possible. Change is possible. So that was my start into my own health journey, and then seeing it played out for real. In these long-term care centers.
Because you see the detriment of your SAD, standard American diet. Yes.
It's sad indeed. Indeed.
So just curious, along the way, there's so many different dietary lifestyles now. There's paleo, keto, of course, we've got vegan, vegetarian, and omnivore. Like, when you were exploring, correcting your pre-diabetic state, did you explore any of those, and what have you settled on or discovered for yourself that works for you?
I think what is so interesting, Alexandra, and you mentioned several of them,
right?
And several of them are on new evolutions with different names.
Yeah.
And they are all basically things that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Are all designed around, in my perspective, deprivation. We got to take stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's a no. That's a no. When we understand how food all works together, when we understand how each of our different components, the proteins, the fats, and the carbohydrates, all have different roles in the body.
Right.
And it's for me, it's a matter of, let's see how we can put these together that make us feel the best, that satisfy us. There's absolutely no deprivation, and to get a balance of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's a diet, maybe that's what I follow. Everything's got some protein, some fats, and some carbs.
Right.
In my diet. And that just makes eating easy. That makes being out easy.
Right. Yeah. I'm very similar in that I think of food as nutritional input for me, well-being input, and yes, and there's some things like, once in a while, a nice pasta dish is nice, but I think more in terms of the macros, proteins, carbs, and fats, and am I getting the right amount of each? I like to think of it that way. So, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, and to give our clients those tools, I think is really the value of having that support. Is like, okay, let's put together things that work and things that don't work. But yeah, no deprivation. And that's the first thing that comes up in my mind when I hear the word diet. It's like, what are we not eating today?
Right. Your attention goes, energy flows, so that all you're going to think about is what you're not eating today, right?
That's right. Yes.
Right. So now you're also, as we talked about earlier, a hypnotist. Can you share with the listeners how you got into it? What got you started with hypnotism?
Yes.
And also the distinction, if I may, and also the distinction between, because we know I asked you about hypnotherapy and hypnotist and the nuance in the definition. So if you can address that as well. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you. I got into hypnosis. A dear friend who is also she's a life coach. And I was hearing of the tremendous results that she was getting with her clients fast. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm doing hypnosis. I'm like, well, what is that? And so I started researching it. She guided me, and it's a game changer. I add it to my tools as an avenue to help clients get lasting results quickly. And what I so love about it, and the reason it resonated with me, Alexandra, was it draws on the very same things that I use with my clients in wellness coaching. We draw on our inner strengths, our core strengths. We draw on our wisdom. We draw on our experiences.
Right.
This isn't Valerie inside of somebody. This is their own resources being brought forth to help them with these changes. Same exact thing that I do in coaching. And that is what motivated me to continue with my studies and to become certified in the hypnosis. The change is quick, it's effective, and it's lasting because it comes from within. The difference between the two in the United States, there's a big distinction. A hypnotist is somebody who is not a licensed mental health professional. A hypnotherapist, by the word therapist at the end of it, is somebody who, in addition to being a hypnotist, are also a licensed mental health professional.
Mhm.
They're going to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist
Right.
already. They can call themselves hypnotherapists. I am not licensed that way. I don't have that education for mental health certification. So with that, I'm a hypnotist. I am a hypnosis practitioner.
Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Great.
Mhm. Yes.
Excellent. Great. And so how have you seen, what are some of the things that you've seen either personally or with your clients and changes that have been elicited through the hypnosis?
Let me start with myself. So I have also experienced hypnosis. I am fixing to go in for hip replacement surgery here in a couple weeks. So back about a year ago, I'm like, let's do the hypnosis for pain on my hip. It's
Mhm.
been with me for years and years. It's chronic pain. Hypnosis is wonderful for chronic pain. So I was the recipient of hypnosis, and it brought it way down. I said, let's do this again. Brought it from like a 9 to about a 3. I said, let's see if we can get this any lower. Brought it down to about a 2. Okay. I thought, this is wonderful. Man, this is wonderful. I can live with a 2. I can live with a 3. And it kept creeping back up because there was something underneath it. And then x-rays revealed that there's nothing in my hip.
Oh, I love it.
All the cartilage is gone, and I have bone spurs. So,
I thought you meant that there's no bone spurs. Okay.
no, there's bone spurs and no cartilage. So the
Got it.
hypnosis could not take away the pain because the body was, in fact, disabling.
Okay.
So that was wonderful. I have been the recipient of hypnosis for alcohol, alcohol drinking. I used it. I wanted to be completely free. I've been drinking for years. I don't miss, there's not like I'm missing anything.
Mhm.
And I decided for myself to completely go sober. My alcohol had started, it had been increasing and increasing. And I'm like, I just don't want this. I had cravings, it's a Friday night, it's a happy hour, even though I'm not out. And I'm like, I'm done with this. And had hypnosis done to me, and no cravings.
Nice.
No yearnings, I don't look at it and think, oh, I want some, none at all, gone. My smoking clients, success. My alcohol clients, success. I've used it very, very successfully with anxiety. It helps. So sometimes in anxiety, people may not really be noticing or attributing it to the anxiety, which would be not sleeping through the night, stomach upsets, just can't get the weight off. There's that anxiety component. And it is true, I believe it's true, that underneath so much of what we've got going on is stress. Is stress. I absolutely love doing confidence hypnosis. Stress, that fear, that stepping out, that can I or can't I? The other side of fear is confidence.
Right. Right.
And releasing that stress about that thing, the thing that's got you stuck. And that's beautiful. That's
Right.
beautiful. The relaxation part is absolutely huge in hypnosis. And I love doing pre-medical procedure hypnosis. I just absolutely love that. My clients report back like, oh my gosh, breezed through the thing. And I'm like, yes. So lots of applications where somebody is anxious or stuck. It's beautiful for that.
Beautiful. Excellent. Wow. And what we had discussed earlier that there's something that you want people to know about themselves. What would that be?
It's possible. Change is possible for you. That It may feel like this is the thing that you're just going to be with.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't tried everything yet.
Right.
That you just decide that I'm going to try something.
Mm-hmm.
Part of moving forward is doing the moving forward, finding a something that interests you, that really speaks to your heart, and move towards that.
Right.
Because there are other ways to be. There are other paths that we can choose,
Mm-hmm.
and change is possible. Change is possible.
Right. Absolutely. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm all about. That's why I do these shows. It's like interviewing people to get different perspectives on what can we use, what can we do, body, mind, spirit, to just have a better life and to share it with others and to inspire others to have a better life. So this is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
and that's the beauty of the hypnosis, Alexandra, is that everything is inside already.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having to go out and find somebody else's wisdom. We're not having to do any. The answers are there.
Right.
They're just really, really tempered down. May I share a little bit about when I say things are inside of us?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay, so for your listeners, the external world gets planted on us from our third trimester in the womb to about the age of 7.
Mm-hmm.
We are absorbing our exterior environment and bringing it into our personal experience.
Right. Right.
We are not born with habits. We've got 2 parts to our brain, our conscious and our unconscious. The conscious is 5%, and that tells us just 2 responses, gives us the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That's it. We are tabula rasa. We are blank slates. Our unconscious is 95%, and it looks at everything in our world through only 2 filters, moving us towards pleasure or protecting us from pain.
Mm-hmm.
When there is a lot of emotion attached to something, it's like it gets even further cemented and goes around and around and around. What we have going on in our unconscious is pretty undetermined to us. We cannot isolate something. Like when I ask my clients, what's telling you to go get this snack? What do you think might be the trigger?
Right.
It's hard to find that. It's hard to find that. And by the time you've been doing it a couple of times, it's developed into a habit.
Mm-hmm.
But so much of the way we walk in the world can be around what happened in those early years. Birthday celebrations, if it was a big thing in your family or in your primary caregivers, boy, howdy. You've got that etched in your mind. It's like birthdays are a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You've got something else that happened. I grew up on the Pacific. My mom, every time I went to the beach, look at the water to watch for sharks.
Mm-hmm.
I have indelibly marked in my brain, watch out for sharks. Every time I go by a body of water, Valerie, this is a lake, there are no sharks. Now that doesn't stop me from moving in the world.
Right.
But if there is a fear, like a fear of public speaking, the unconscious knowing of doing something different than our family, for instance, that's huge. That's
Right.
huge. Protecting us from pain, moving us towards pleasure. Everything is on those 2 filters. As an adult, if we have something really traumatic happen to us,
Mm-hmm.
bam, it hits that same area of pleasure, protect us from pain.
Right.
Inside then lives all of our resources that can balance those out, can counter that. You are an adult. You have lived through the world. Let's put that thing aside. Let's ask it to step down and bring in, again, your core strengths. What gets you from a previous situation that may have been really, really, really difficult? Something got you through that. Something that is uniquely you got you through a tough situation. We're going to call on that to do that. All of this lives in that 95% of our mind.
So when you do your hypnosis, is that what you're basically telling the client? We're working with that essence in your subconscious or unconscious mind to pull that powerful life force forward.
Correct. We're asking the other to set aside, and let's bring in this other part and have it to start running on automatic pilot.
Right.
So thank you. Just to have a little bit of background, we have been inundated as little people with stuff outside of us, and we think it's us, and it's somebody at 7 years old has no capacity.
It's just
yes, it's all programming.
Yep.
And we have things we absolutely love. And again, we were not born with habits. So we learned to walk, we learned to talk, we learned to eat with utensils. All these things we learned. And then we've also got some other programming going on.
Right. Absolutely. Like two of my mentors, Bob Proctor, who passed away last year, and Mary Morrissey, who's I'm a big fan of hers. And that's the thing we talk about, we've got the subconscious and we've got the conscious mind. And when we're in the first 7 years of our life, everything goes right into our unconscious or subconscious, whichever we want to call it. And that's what's running the show. That's what's running the show. And we really, through the life coaching principles that I teach, it's the same thing. It's like, getting into declaring what we want, getting into the feeling, conjuring up the feeling of the vision for what we want to create in the future. And getting into that state of calling it forth, which is calls up infinite intelligence that we all have,
Exactly. Infinite intelligence. And it's all very personal. It's all very unique. And that's why that makes all the change possible. The change you do, the change I do makes it all possible.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Awesome. So you have a free gift for folks. You want to share what that is?
I do. Thank you. Yes. It is an audio that I have called Dissolving Stress Instantly. Because again, change is possible. And so it's around, releasing worry, tension, and stress pretty instantly, so that then you can bring in serenity, tranquility, and peacefulness, all from using these untapped powers in your own mind. So you feel refreshed. You feel like you can go through the day, sleep well at night. This is my gift. It's about 10 minutes long, a short listen. It's a free download.
Nice. And so I have here in your notes, you want to share what the website or the link is so that our listeners can hear it, but it's also going to be in the show notes. So anybody that pulls up the show notes can just click on it. But
yes, it is out on my website, which is Bona Diem, BONADIEM.com. Bona Diem is Latin for good day. And it's your good day. All change is possible. And that's why my favorite question is, what is possible for you when you decide for change?
Right.
And guiding you, empowering you to experience your good day, your Bona Diem. And the download will be there under audio downloads, the audio downloads tab. And you'll see that. Dissolve stress instantly. Yes.
Awesome. Beautiful. Awesome. So anything else you want to share with our listeners before we clock off?
Well, I would like to have you and your listeners experience a quick little activity that shows in a really powerful way the connection between body and mind.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just take a couple minutes here. So I'd like to invite everybody to think about using this hypnosis as a powerful tool for change. And we use the creative part of our mind to connect both the brain and the body. So would that be an interesting exercise?
Sure. Now,
Okay.
but we may have people that are driving as they're listening to this. So we want to suggest not to do this if you're driving.
Yeah, do not. And it'll be a little bit longer than the red lights that go on endlessly, right? So I'm going to guide you through this experiment, and it'll show you just really the change, and the connection is super, super powerful.
About how many minutes would you say this exercise?
This is going to be about 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we good? Are we good on time?
We're good on time.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is put your hand out, extend your arm straight out, and have your palm open, facing up. I know you're sitting at home, so you can go ahead and do that.
See that I'm doing it on the video here.
Okay. And simply keep your hand extended, your palm open, and then close your eyes. Now you can keep your eyes open if you want to, but you're just going to be listening to me, so there's nothing to look at. And if you really want to get an answer to the question, does hypnosis work? Follow these instructions. So you've got your hand out in front of you, and I want you to imagine that you have a box of Lemonhead candies. And I'm going to be able to share some Lemonhead candies with you. In the open palm of your hand, imagine that I am going to place these 2 little Lemonhead candies on the open palm of your hand. These are these hard lemon-flavored candies with that clear, tiny crystal sugars on the outside. And now what I'd like you to do is just simply with your hand extended, feel now these very light candies being placed on the palm of your open hand. And now with your other hand, I'd like you to reach inside of your open palm and take those 2 Lemonhead candies and place them on your tongue. And as you do that, use the part of the mind that controls imagination and vividly feel the lemon hard candies there on the edge of your tongue. You can go ahead now and put your hands down. You can feel that sweet, sugary exterior begin to melt away down to that sour lemon flavor on the inside. Begin to really thoroughly taste that sugary flavor on the outside. And notice how it starts to turn sour. And now go ahead in your mouth, swish that candy around from the right to the left. Use your tongue and swish them back and forth in your mouth. And use your wonderful imagination to imagine that you're actually eating this lemon drop candy. Some people like to suck on candy, and you're free to suck on it if you want to. Enjoy it, feeling that sweet, that tart there on the tip of your tongue and on the sides of your mouth. Or if you like hard candy, crunch them up between your teeth. The right side, the left side, get them all crunched up, crunch, crunch, crunch. And as you swallow, enjoy the flavor. And now open your eyes. We are done. We are done. That lemon drop candy was not real. I never told you it was real. Use your imagination. What was that like for you, Alexandra?
I was focusing on, does it taste lemony yet? Does it taste lemony yet? And I'm like, well, maybe it does taste a little lemony. Like really, hoping it would taste lemony. I'm like, does it taste lemony? I could say it tasted a little lemony.
A little lemony. So you had a lot of the sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had a lot of the sweetness because the lemon was under that. Yes. Yes. Oftentimes we start to salivate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Swishing it back and forth or chewing it or whatever. And that was all completely through the imagination, through listening, focused listening, not asleep, and how the body is responding. There was nothing in your mouth. It's just the body was responding. So we use this all the time in hypnosis, that connection between the body and the mind. So this was just a little demonstration. I hope you and your listeners enjoy this, just to like, not to go eat any candy, but
well, I know there's Amy Cuddy, I think Amy Cuddy, who talks about how we hold ourselves physically tells us, really creates our mindset. So it's so important. Like if we take power stances, it actually builds up our confidence, that victory pose every once in a while, like if we're going to do, say, public speaking, and we were about to get on stage or go onto a Zoom, whichever the case may be, just taking a few minutes and standing in that victory pose gives us confidence. And it's that same idea of connecting the mind and the body to create a state that we want, which is really cool.
Exactly. Yes. It's powerful. It's a powerful tool.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. So our folks, if they want to get your free gift, they can go to bonadiem.com, right? BONADIEM.com, and they can find under audio downloads your download for Dissolve Stress Instantly. Awesome. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. This has been fun. Very fun.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It has been fun. I so enjoy this. Awesome. Really do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll talk again.
All right. Everyone have a blessed rest of your day. To your Bona Diem, to your good day.
Yes. And remember, everyone, do whatever you do, focus on, you want to live well long. So do whatever you can to do that. Bye for now. Thank you for listening. This is Alexandra with Live Well Long. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our important episodes. We want to be sure that you get everything you can to do your best to live well long. Feel free to reach out to me at alex@avhcoaching.com. And remember to take good care of yourself so that you live well long. Talk with you soon. Bye.
Hey, psst, it's Alexandra. One more thing. Would you please share this on Facebook, Twitter, send an email to your friends? Just hit the share link and pick a way to share it. I would love it. Thank you so much. Bye.